And so at the last minute before uploading, I'm like, you know what? Let me scrap this. I'm going to put a little section at the end about how it cost me $78 a month. And like, that was an afterthought. And I posted it. And I thought it was just like, oh man, people are going to hate this. They want finance. They don't want Tesla content. And I posted it and it did well. Within a few days, I think that video made 90 grand in ad revenue.
ROTN, let me present to you the ROTN Podcast. The ROTN Podcast.
How do you want me to say it?
Rotten.
All right, guys. Hello. What is up? We have Graham Stephan here for the episode 17 of the ROTN Podcast. First off, I just wanted to say you're our first official guest.
First guest.
Wait, really?
Yes.
First guest.
Wow.
What an honor.
That's so cool.
It is an honor.
But by far, I'm excited to have you here because I guess we should probably get into how we know each other.
Yeah, I feel like that's a funny place to start, and I would love to start there because from my perspective, it was so funny because that was the first time I ever learned of you. Tiffany's like, "Oh my God, Graham Stephan made a video about me," and I'm like, "Wait, who's this guy making this video about my girl? Like, let me see what this is about." And the video was titled "Millionaire Reacts: What I Spend in a Month as a Homeowner in LA." Yeah. And from my perspective, I was like, wait, I need to watch this to make sure like everything's good. You know, someone like out there disrespecting my girl. Let me check it out. And really quickly after I started watching, I was really impressed with. There was no disrespect in anything you said. It was more
try to be friendly.
Yeah, friendly, interjecting your opinion on it, but also understanding it and having a good balance of not like calling someone out and being disrespectful about it. And since that video was made, there was a handful of back and forth ones, one that led to Tiffany saying how I actually feel about Graham Stephan, addressing my beef with Graham Stephan.
That was my favorite
What did we call it? A content loop?
Infinite monetization.
Yes,
loop.
that was such a smart thing.
Those videos did well.
They did so well. We need to start this out. We need to title this, "I Have Beef with Graham Stephan," or that's so funny. So yeah, we met because you started making videos about me, but I had already started watching your videos prior to that because you had made videos about my friends, and I was like, man, like this guy's really saving every single cent and like doing such a great job saving his money. And I'm like, I feel like I'm like splurging on things. And I always thought I was really good with my money until I started watching your videos. And I think you've made me so much more financially literate, which I really appreciate. And I just want to know, once you become friends with someone on YouTube like me, are you nicer or meaner, do you feel like?
Gosh, I think I have to be a little bit nicer, right? Because once you get to know somebody, it's not like you could just, because then you know the nuances and you can't just pretend you fake it online. Probably a little bit nicer.
Yes.
10%.
And I want to ask you, how many podcasts are you filming this week?
Oh gosh, too many. We overload, unfortunately. Anytime we travel, I'm like, we got to fill like every hour with a podcast, and we usually go in like this one. I think it was like 5 podcasts in 3 days. Doesn't sound like a lot because you're thinking, oh, you just go and show up and talk for an hour or two, but everybody runs late. Setup takes longer than you expect. Then afterwards, you can't just say, all right, bye. But then also when you're around so many other people, it's like my schedule revolves around 5 other people. Right. So if one person's like, hey, I'm 30 minutes behind, then everyone else gets pushed. Yeah. And then if someone's like, hey, I can't do that time anymore. Can we do this time? I got to say yes. I mean, so it's just tough.
Well, I want to say thank you to waking up to 8:30 a.m. to come here.
You're welcome.
I'm very glad we're doing this. For me, this is a dream to be able to film at 9 a.m. and get Tiffany out of bed. She has a very different schedule. She'll go to bed at 4 a.m.
No way.
Wake up at like, what, 11, 12? Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
Usually 11 to 12.
Okay, that's like that's pretty good.
Yeah. And then I'm up around 7:30 usually.
And for people who don't know, maybe that are tuning in, you know, on our channel, would love to kind of hear you talk a little bit about your story and who you are. And you have what, 4 YouTube channels or 5?
Was right 5 down to 3.
Okay. Oh, it's down to 3.
I'm sad that you don't have the Stephamily going on anymore.
I posted on it the other day.
I did. I watched it.
You actually watched it?
I watched every single.
Are you serious?
Yes. We need to come visit you in Vegas if we're invited.
Please.
totally fine or not after
yeah,
we,
no, you're
we
invited.
roast you.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
But Graham has this like amazing $50,000, maybe $100,000 aquarium now.
That. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I saw in your when I was reading up on your story, you worked at an aquarium, right?
I did.
That was like one of your first jobs, which led to you like taking extra pictures of the inventory, which helped you with marketing. Was that what really got you into starting this journey on finance?
I would say so. I think once I started working, I hated school at that point because I just didn't get the point of like staying in class. I just wanted to work. And so for me, that was a shift where I was just like, I just want to make money. I want to work. I want to do what I want to do. And that was at the time taking pictures of fish and coral.
Who would have thought it would have led to...
Yeah, but that just shifted my mindset because I didn't want to go to school anymore. It's all I thought about was just like, what time is this over?
Yeah.
And how early can I leave to go and work? And that was it.
Yeah.
So I just kept doing that.
Just having that entrepreneurial drive. So I think the article was saying at the time, it said you did 120 million in residential commercial sales or residential real estate sales. So for people who don't know, you're very successful in real estate and you're a content creator with 3 channels. So you must have a pretty good routine, or like, what is your output like on content in general?
For content, it's nonstop. Unfortunately, it's all I think about at this point is it's like when I'm in the car, I'm just thinking like video ideas, and I'm taking notes on my phone if I hear something, or I'm listening to a podcast like that's a great idea, and just jot them down. For content creation, it's usually 6 days a week. I don't know, 8 to 10 hours a day. But a lot of that is just
uploads, or what? Like how much are you actually posting as well?
Oh, a video a day between 3 channels. So but it's not as crazy as you would think. Like the main channel's 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like those are the ones that take 90% of the time. Podcast is 1 video a week on Sunday. So those we could usually batch together. We'll film them all within a few days, and then that's like 2 months of content. Perfect. And then the second channel.
You film multiple podcasts in one day?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Matt and I tried that. And I was so tired by the second podcast episode. It was so bad that I was like, I don't even think we should upload it.
It's funny. Jack told me that he felt like we should never schedule more than 2 or 3 maximum in a day because we noticed in New York, I think we had 4 or 5 in a day. And by the 5th one, he said like our energy really sucked. We were really tired. We were not good conversationalists, and it suffered. So I agree with him. So I think usually like 2 to 3.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
I feel like if we got up and filmed now, did another one, and then filmed another one later, we would be able to.
No.
But
my diaphragm would get so tired.
Yeah.
I realize I actually physically get tired of talking.
Me too.
After an hour.
Me too. So, but usually with that, we don't always batch them like that. Sometimes it'll be like 1 in like 3 weeks, and then we'll have like 1 busy day where we have like 3. So it's a bit hit or miss. And then the second channel is just like I got to be in a good mood to do a reaction video.
Right.
And those usually I enjoy. Sometimes I just go like, oh man, I don't feel like doing this, but I got to be all like peppy and, you know, angry at a video, and I just don't feel like it, but I'll just do it.
Are they the easiest for you to film or the harder ones to film?
Easiest. Usually it takes me maybe an hour to get in the mood to be like, all right, I got to do this.
I feel like that's people's favorites to watch from you, at least from the people that I surround myself with. Like we always talk about your reaction videos, and that's our favorite type of content from you.
Yeah.
So honestly, great monetization.
Sure it varies because a lot of his content as well, that when I was looking into it, you know, a lot of financial tips, how to get your credit score up. I think one of your most popular videos was the $78 a month Tesla.
Yeah, that was a great video. And that was something I didn't even plan on making to begin with. I figured, why not? I may as well try it. And then I filmed the whole video. I'm like, this sucks because my audience is not going to like it. Like, there's no finance, anything in this video. It's just me buying a car. Like, that's not fun. And so at the last minute before uploading, I'm like, you know what? Let me scrap this. I'm going to put a little section at the end about how it cost me $78 a month. And like, that was an afterthought because I wasn't happy with the video. And I posted it. And I thought it was just like, oh man, people are going to hate this. They want finance. They don't want Tesla content. And I posted it, and it did well, like right off the bat. And I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then it just kept doing well. And then it kept getting pushed. And I think within like 3 days, and I never really had a video take off like that before. And within a few days, like I talked to someone random. They're like, dude, I just saw your video on YouTube about the $78 test. I'm like, you saw that video? He's like, yeah, it came up recommended. I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel. And that's when you know, like, a video gets pushed. Like, I didn't know you had a channel, but I saw that video. And fun story about that video, but I think that video made 90 grand in ad revenue. It was really so
and this is something I wanted to talk about as well, because I saw the video you made and it made me feel real bad about myself. No, but you are very open with your finances, which is refreshing, and that's something Tiffany and I have talked about a lot, because a lot of people shy away from speaking about it. It's an uncomfortable subject. But one of your videos was how much you make a day with 2.5 million subscribers, and it ended up being averaging from 4,000 to 5,000. There was a day that was like 11,000, but overall $1.9 million just in ad revenue. Yeah, that's incredible.
I have a question though. What is it now with your 4+ million subscribers?
Is it down?
Down, yeah. So, and I kind of knew this going in. 2020 through 2022 was like an anomaly because so many people were at home, so many people were watching finance content. Like that was a one-off event where like stock interest and investing interest had never been higher, and everyone was at home and it was very accessible.
That's true. That's perfect
the Robin
for your
Hood era. The Robin Hood era, the Reddit meme
NFTs,
stock era.
Crypto.
There was a time where I could post with Robin Hood in the title and it would get like 400,000 views just by mentioning Robin Hood just did this. It was like the lowest hanging fruit, but people are like, what did Robin Hood just do? So now we've normalized back from what I've seen to 2018 levels in terms of investor interest. You could look even at like when you look at stock trading platforms, or even when you look at like Coinbase is a good example. Like their user base has stagnated a lot and has gone back to where it was like 4 years ago. And a lot of companies have gone back to where they were pre-pandemic, and then some. So the way I see it is my content has like obviously shifted with that, has gone back to kind of where it was like 2019, which is still good.
Yeah.
But it's not like I can't expect this pandemic related like surge of views.
I think that caught a lot of people by surprise, or a lot of people are looking at their portfolios, and
everyone's scared to open their Robinhoods right now.
Yeah, I don't look at my Robinhood really as much as I should. I need to be.
Yeah.
But where I was going also with the question is, when you are open about your finances and you have these titles that say Millionaire Reacts, do you get a negative? Is there any negativity from that by being so open?
Really none. But I think the people that watch are used to it already, so they kind of get it. No negative pushback, but I am starting to get tired of it personally.
Really?
There's only so many times I could say it. And so now I feel like doing the income breakdowns, I really enjoyed that in the beginning because no one was doing that.
Yeah.
But now when it's like very similar, I'm just essentially remaking the same video a year ago and just like changing up the numbers a little bit, and everyone else is doing it, feels less special.
Yeah.
And there's less I could contribute. Like in the beginning, there's so much that I could say because like, no, it was like this hush hush sort of thing. So, but now it's like when everyone's doing it, I got to think, well, how do you differentiate yourself at this point?
But I also think that was your goal. Your goal was to lead the charge in having people be financially open, and you've started that trend on YouTube, it feels like. And so even though you're tired of it, you started this. Like you started the movement. Yeah, you started this monster where people have become way more open with talking about how much money they made. Like I even made a video because you pushed me to do it in a video. And
I think people really liked it. I think I looked at your comments and everyone was like, this is so awesome. Congrats. And they're really happy for you.
You were the one that actually called me out and said you should make this video.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, I'm glad.
Yes. Infinite monetization loop.
So now you got to see like what's beyond that. Like how could you take that to the next level? I don't know what that is yet.
So what are your plans? Because I know you have Bankroll Coffee. Are you sticking to that? Are you trying to find your way out of YouTube? Are you feeling burnt out? Because it sounds like you're saying you don't love like the type of content you make anymore when it comes to like opening up about your finances.
Yeah. Oh, those. Yeah. Income breakdowns. I've gotten sick of those for like 3 years. But I'm like, I'm still going to do it because people enjoy them. And so at the end of the day, like when I'm making videos, it's really for the viewer, less for myself. So I'm like, if they want it, I'll do it. But yeah. Definitely burnt out on that. But I don't know. I think right now I'm really focusing more on the podcast. I see a huge potential in long form and then like clipping that up and doing short form with that. So I think the combo of like an hour and a half long video with a 60-second clip, I think there's huge potential.
And that's how we've been thinking about the podcast as well, and why we wanted to really start it and focus on it, because the long form content is so valuable to build an audience that's going to tune in, and then all the content you can syndicate on all these other platforms. It's just so valuable.
Yeah, I think we're starting to learn the importance of making sure that we put all the content on Instagram. It's like, it's so much content, because not only do I have my own personal brand, it's like all the content on top of that for the podcast. And so I can't imagine how you handle all of that. But I guess you do have Alex and
we have a small
Jack.
Team. Yeah. So they take care of a lot of that like nuance, but still on the main channel, second channel, like I'm coordinating a lot of those shorts on there and making sure they're posting, and if they do well in like titles, and try to optimize for those. But I think huge potential in that.
I also want to say there's massive news we haven't talked about. Congratulations on getting engaged.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you got engaged?
Yeah, I thought you guys had big news. I'm like, what's the news? What is it? You got to tell me.
No, I mean, we also got engaged. Which,
congratulations.
Thank you. But I love Macy, and I loved, you know, just grabbing dinner with you and her and Matt and I at Bestia. And I want to know more information about the engagement, and how did you go through the process, picking out the ring?
Yeah, the ring was easy. She just kept sending me.
Oh, that's nice. That's so nice.
Yeah, so that was simple. Like that was the easy part. But yeah, the actual engagement, I just recreated our first date on the what was it, on the 3rd year anniversary of our first date. And so I just recreated the whole thing.
So your engagement date is the same as your anniversary date?
Yeah.
That's perfect and lazy. I love it.
Yeah.
You don't have to remember a million dates.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would be cool every year. I think we pretty much recreated the first date every year. I mean, it's simple. It's like grabbing sushi and going down to the Santa Monica Pier. Like it's simple.
About doing
recreating our
date.
Yeah.
We didn't though.
No, we didn't. I think they actually closed the restaurant that we originally went to when we first met. So
yeah,
no recreation happening. I also wanted to ask more about, you know, now that you and Macy are combining finances when you guys get married, I saw that you guys did a prenup, and I've always been curious about it because we've talked about it.
I brought it up on the 2nd date, I believe.
Oh, smart.
Yeah. Because I
prepping it from a mile away.
Yeah, so when it comes to that, I was really upfront, like 2nd date in, because I was like, hey, listen, if this is going to lead somewhere, I'd rather just be like totally upfront, because I'd hate to bring that up like 3 years into it, like, hey, by the way. And she's like, well, what did I do? I wanted to make it very clear, like, hey, first of all, if this is not going to work, now you know, and that way you also know it's like, it's not you, this is something that's really important to me, and she had no problem with it. So it was pretty seamless, I would say.
Yeah. Date 2, that's pretty early. That's you have a good.
Did you know by
vision.
date 2 that she was it for you?
I think so.
Wait, that's so cute.
For me too, I just wanted to be as upfront as possible, because I liked her enough to want to make sure that there were like no big deal breakers or anything like that. So I was like, okay, I'll tell you everything, and then if anything doesn't work, just like, it's better to know now, and then we can move on. Like if anything is going to be an issue, like there it is. And so that worked in I think both of our favors.
So do you guys have a date set for your wedding?
Yeah, it'll be our 5th year anniversary.
No way. Yeah. Wait, I love this. That's actually so smart.
So we keep it all like on the same day.
So is it going to be in LA, Vegas, or where's her family from?
Ventura.
Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
like an hour away. So it'll probably be around there.
Is that where the winery area is?
Close.
How'd you guys meet again?
We met through, she sent me a message on Instagram responding to a story, and and I didn't think anything of it, to be honest. It was just a funny little thing. And every now and then I'll just scroll Instagram and respond to like messages or just like funny little things. And so I responded to that, and we just kept going back and forth, and I thought it was fun.
Just some banter, sliding in the DMs. It worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with us, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Hinge. It was different. Hinge. Okay. So next question. I know after the wedding comes babies. Have you guys had that conversation? Well, Matt and I are getting married as well, and we're talking about babies. But also, I think you would be great as a family vlogger. And I know you don't like vlogging.
Gosh, I can't. Is that still a thing? Are family vlogs doing well? I feel like that's like 3 years ago.
I feel like family vlogs do well when you're like a new family, but also I think Macy and you just have like such a cool relationship, and I feel like a lot of us don't get to know her as much, and it would be like such a cool way to get to know her more. But that's just me being like selfish and wanting to know more about you guys.
I would say probably not. I would get obsessive over it. Like,
really?
Yeah, because I can't post a video and not care about its performance.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like filming the whole thing and like, the baby throws up and I'm like, the video is a 9 out of 10. This sucks. And
then you're
low
mad at
engagement.
your kid.
Yeah. The like ratio is awful. Only 400 comments. This is not acceptable.
Baby Stephan, you got to step it up.
I don't want to have to think about like that sort of, or doing thumbnails. Just imagine this like thumbnails. I
maybe an unhealthy dynamic.
I hate it. It's like a lot of the vlogging stuff. I just like half the time, even when I vlog for myself, I just don't feel like it at all. It just takes me out of the moment. I just don't want to have to think about like
you don't want a camera in your face 24/7.
No, I hate it. Yeah,
it's probably hard for you because you also film content 8 hours a day without the vlogging stuff, and that's just pure you sitting down content. So having to film more content on top of that, I just couldn't imagine doing that.
Yeah, something would have to give. Even now, I'm looking to scale back a little bit. So,
really?
like, yeah.
What's going first?
Probably the main channel I want to go down to, and I've been saying this for 3 years. So, like, this is 3 or 4 years in the making. Actually, it was 2019 where I told myself I was going to give myself to April of 2020 and then go down to 2 videos a week from 3.
But then the pandemic
happened. And I went from like 3 videos to like 3.5, 4 videos a week. That was an exciting time for finance because everything was like changing.
Yeah.
But now I feel like, barring another like huge event, I want to go, like my initial goal was to go down to 2 videos a week, January 1st of this year. But then I thought, well, I may as well try to continue that through April. So the goal is now to continue through April.
Oh, that's 2 months.
Did you double down on content when inflation really started to kick in and we all started to feel the effects of the economy? Do people lean to you for that type of content?
Sometimes, yeah. I really doubled down on content though from March of 2020 through really now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw this as like a one-off time where it's like finance is probably never going to be as exciting as it is like right now. And I just happened to be in a spot on YouTube where it's like people were looking for finance content, and I just saw that as like the window was open, the opportunity was there. I'd be an idiot not to go for it and really just give it my all.
So what made you so interested in finance? Because I know a little bit about your back history because we talked about it on your pod, but I don't think our viewers know much about your history and what made you want to be not just frugal, but smart with your money.
Yeah, I think I've always just kind of been like that. Even as a kid, Grandpa had a coin collection, and I was really,
that's cool.
Yeah, he would show me these like just pre, World War II coins, and like, I forget what it was. There was like a nickel penny that was like silver instead of the usual copper. And I was so into it. And I started looking at pennies, and he showed me this one. It was a 1909 S VDB penny. It's like a really, really rare penny. It's the famous, like the $1,000 penny.
Oh.
And you don't find them in circulation. But I thought as a kid, like 5 years old, like I'm going to look through all the pennies and find a 1909 S VDB.
Did you ever?
No. Oh, God. Like finding that is a needle in the haystack.
Okay.
Like I don't know how many thousands are in existence. But yeah, but I just was always into it. Anytime I'd get like birthday money, Christmas money, like my grandma would like give me $20. I'd put it in an envelope and just save it. Like I did not want to spend anything. But I think that's just kind of what kicked it off. But I've always just naturally been inclined, I think, towards saving money. It was always an interest of mine.
So you go from having this interest in saving up money to investing in real estate, right? And having success with that. But for a lot of people that are listening, are there practical things people could do? Because I think it's hard for a lot of people to save up a certain amount of money where they can take that and invest it into real estate and build from there. And I know a lot of your content is about that, but I'm just curious on your thoughts, how people go from,
nothing to something,
Mm-hmm.
which
is, I think it's really difficult for everyone.
Yeah,
especially
I think
now with inflation.
I think it is, but there's so many ways that you could save money. I think living with roommates is one. LA is a perfect example. I mean, you guys know how expensive rent could be. If you go on Craigslist, you could find so many rooms for rent for like $600 to $1,000 a month in like a decent location. Like you're not going to be in, Venice Beach or, Beverly Hills, but you'll be in a decent location. And that saves half of your rent. I mean, so when people say like, oh, the average rent in LA is like $2,800, it doesn't have to be. And I think just being able to do that, I personally believe just kind of like sacrifice your 20s. That's always been my philosophy, is just like, you don't need to do all of these things in your 20s. And I'm sure there's a flip side to that. Like, oh, you're only 21. I don't know. I think you're only 30 once too and 40 once. So I think there's plenty of time for you to do these things. But my thing has just been like, you just sacrifice your 20s, work 2 jobs if you have to, find the cheapest ways to live, drive the worst car you can to save everything. And usually, I don't want to say usually, but a lot of the times, if you just dedicate those 10 years to just saving as much as you can, spending as little as possible, you could set yourself up, I think, for the rest of your life. Like, just imagine you do that for 10 years, and you could save enough to buy like a 3-unit building, and a cheap one too. I'm talking like cheap for LA standards, but like, you know, you could still find buildings here. Not the best area, but still like 700 grand. But you got to think like 10 years of saving, working 2 jobs, living below your means. You could save up maybe 10, 15% to put down on a unit like that. And if you buy that correctly, I mean, like that'll pay for your housing costs. And then when you think about that, you living for free, you know, throughout your 30s, saving even more money, then 30 years from then, that building's paid off. Like that's your retirement right there. If you just did that.
That's a very practical, useful implication for saving your money. And I think a lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice whatever it may be. And that's probably where some of the issue lies. You know, people can't get everything they want, but if you were to tell someone, hey, you can't live in Santa Monica if you have these goals, most people wouldn't be willing to sacrifice that comfort.
Yeah. And I think there's some other things too. Like, I think it becomes a lot tougher if you're like working minimum wage, you have student loan debt, you're already working 12 hours a day, like you're trying to continue your education, like you don't have any time for that. There's certain circumstances where it's like way tougher,
right?
But I think it still can be done.
Yeah. Saving money and talking about finances is something that I wish everyone was literate in. And it's really annoying that we don't get taught this stuff until our 20s when we're learning it in real life. But it's not taught in college or high school or middle school. So it is really impressive when people figure it out at a young age, especially for you when you were like a child looking at pennies and saving pennies and $20 bills.
And you were the same way though.
Yeah.
You saved up all your money, bought your own cheerleading outfits in 4th, 5th grade.
Yeah.
We're always saving.
Yeah, but I mean, I grew up in the ghetto, and so I understood how much my family was suffering that I didn't want to add to that by asking for money ever. So I just saved everything that I could. But
that's smart.
Yeah.
But that, it almost feels like that's a natural.
Maybe you're just born with it.
Maybe you are, because, you know, your sisters, are they as good at saving money as you are?
One of them is not.
Circumstance, yeah.
Yeah, one of them is not. But I feel like everyone lives differently. Like, my sisters are older, and so they kind of had it where my parents were together when they were growing up. But for me, my parents ended up divorcing when I was 4 or 5, so then we suffered even more after that. So it was just like a different circumstance of how we like grew up.
Some of it could just be you're born that way.
Yeah.
Because they do that. What was it?
The
marshmallow challenge. Have you heard that? Where they give they give young kids the option. Do you have 1 marshmallow now, or you could have 2 later?
Ooh.
And they found that the kids who go for 2 later have more patience and are more willing to wait and see the benefit long term than the kids who take 1 marshmallow now. So I don't know if that's something that's learned. I mean, maybe some kids just are predispositioned to be like, I'll just get 2 later than the kids who want.
Or they're
like
I don't even like marshmallows, so yeah, I'll just wait.
Yeah, I think
it seems like a discipline you could develop over time if you were intentional about learning that. But again, it is a natural thing for most people, and we don't really learn any of those things. And I had a similar experience where my family did have money, but then throughout the recession, my dad was a trader at the stock market in Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and we lost all of our money pretty much, and had to do EBT. And I think I learned a lot through watching their financial hardships as far as what maybe not to do or how I want to set myself up in the future. But there was no information for me to learn that outside of my own personal experience.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too can just be like people's brains are wired differently. Like you see some people who like just are naturally like they love taking a ton of risk, like and just being a daredevil. Like even going skydiving, like so it's something I could never do that. Like I can't get over that.
What if we got 10,000 likes?
No.
How many likes?
No.
It's the content.
Yeah.
What content needs to be made to get you to jump off a plane?
Someone has to give me $1 million. I have no desire to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it. Probably $1 million would be the threshold for me. Okay. To like be interested in doing that. But you see some people, it's just naturally their risk tolerance is so higher. Like you see the people climbing buildings and they've always just been like, yeah, I'm not afraid of heights. There's like that one thing in their brain that they just don't, it just doesn't click, like the threat of danger, and that could also play into it. It's just like maybe some minds are just pre-wired to like take a more cautious approach.
I actually saw that you're scared of heights as well, or maybe I'm guessing this because I watched your video.
Ryan Serhant video. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, I'm scared of heights as well, and I would not want to go next to the windows.
There was a lot we cut out from that video.
Wait, what did you cut out?
A lot, just in the sense of the height of it, and I'm terrified of heights.
Wait, what was the video?
So it was the most expensive listing in New York, and the building was like 1,150 something or 1,137 feet in the air.
Jeez.
And there's all these glass windows, like floor to ceiling windows, and you could just like, and there's a bit of a ledge, so it's like floor, ledge, window, so you could stand on the ledge and like peer over and just straight down.
That's scary.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, but I'm like just. I get so antsy. So, you know, there's a point there where I was trying to take a thumbnail. So I was standing on the ledge.
An epic thumbnail.
Facing, thank you. Facing the window. And then Alex took a picture of me from like behind. But I was like standing there looking straight down. And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
Do you think
spooky?
So I only know this information from watching Selling Sunset. But would a $250 million listing ever actually sell? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, they gotta sell it. So they're not gonna keep it empty forever.
You don't think they'd sell it for like 200, 150?
Maybe. I think it depends on the offer and what else you're selling in the building. Usually, when developers have that, they have to maintain a certain price per square foot, or certain comp, and so they don't want to sell below that point because then it devalues everything else. Like you'll see, there's a lot of new constructions where
she wants to say hi to you so bad.
Oh,
I don't know why.
Hey.
For those of you guys who are listening to audio, Shark, our cat, absolutely loves Graham right now, and this is so unique.
I love cats.
Oh my god, that's
she
adorable.
Loves you. Wow,
that's hilarious.
Very much a cat person, because I kind of get that they don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So you know, if I could just give them a little attention and then just like stop paying attention, it drives them nuts.
That's what Tiffany still has yet to learn.
Really?
I just grab Shark and hold her down and cuddle her.
Macy's the same way, and I'm very much just like, okay, I'll give him a little attention and then stop.
So how do you go from being on Selling Sunset?
He was at the Oppenheim group, right?
Yeah,
you were
the Oppenheim
first.
Group. Yeah.
But where I was going with it is you obviously enjoy making content, right? Because you're focused so much on content opposed to real estate.
Yeah.
Was that shift in focusing more on content because you enjoyed it more? You saw more of a financial opportunity? Were you burnt out with real estate?
No, I really enjoyed real estate. The year that I began doing YouTube was the best year I had in real estate. I think that was 2018 was like my, either 2018 or 2019 was like my top year producing as an agent. I loved making content. Like for me, that was so much fun because it was different, but I didn't want to do it full time because I was so nervous because I've seen so many creators just like overnight disappear or like the algorithm changed and like they were without a job. So I never wanted to take a risk and like do YouTube full time and give up real estate, because real estate's one of those things where when you build it up, it's really easy to maintain because like you got the momentum, the clients keep referring you business. When you stop for like a year, it takes you like 3 years to get back into it. So I never wanted to give up YouTube, even though I think 2019 was the year YouTube made, I think it was $1 million. So I made way more doing YouTube than I did real estate, like way more, by like double, I think. And even then I was like, I don't want to do it because like this could disappear any moment. But then it was really 2020 when COVID happened in March. Like a lot of real estate shut down. Like no one was showing properties. No one was allowed to do open houses in LA. Like everything shut down. So I thought, well, this is a pretty good time. Let me at least do this for a little bit. And pretty quickly I realized that like, I'm just going to do this. I loved it. So that was really the catalyst to doing it full time.
So you haven't done a real estate deal, or do you have clients still reaching out to you?
I do. I have a really good network with the Oppenheim group. So if someone reaches out to me, I will make sure they're taken care of. I'm usually not involved unless they need me to be. But for the most part, I could refer it out to other people at the Oppenheim group, and they do just as good of a job.
Not as good as Graham Stephan, though.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Listen, between me and Jason Oppenheim, like Jason will do way better than I could. So I'll give him the credit for that. But yeah, a lot of the listings, not a lot of listings, but there's been a few listings that Jason has now that were procured by me from years ago. And he's taking care of it. And he's doing a really good job. So every now and then he'll just text me updates like, hey, we got an offer on this. I'll keep you posted. And so it's cool.
That's nice. Do you get like a kickback?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were just like being nice and giving them.
But honestly, it depends on the deal. There have been several where I'm like, dude, just take it. Like, I don't want anything from like, I'm just so happy for the opportunity that he gave me to be able to work there. So it's just like, I'm not going to ask for anything. But it depends on the deal. Like certain deals, I'm like, yeah, this would be kind of nice. But even if he says no, like, I'm not going to be offended by any means. It wouldn't change anything.
I mean, so what do you think of the housing market right now? Because I know you have a bunch of properties, at least in LA and in Vegas. What's the outlook looking like for you?
Right now I'm sitting on cash. Like I really want to buy something, but I don't see it as a good opportunity right now.
As far as real estate?
Yeah, I want to buy a commercial building.
Oh.
Because I'm in residential and I think it's good to be in, but I really like the aspect of like a business renting there and signing like a 10 to 20 year lease, triple net, like they take care of the building. But I want to wait to see what happens with yields right now, because a lot of the buildings right now in Vegas are selling at like, let's say a 4.5 to 5.5% return. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it doesn't make sense to buy because I'm getting 5% of my money right now in like treasuries, risk-free with no work. So why would I take on the risk to buy a building at 5.5%? Like and after tax, it's like, it's the same thing. So there's no difference. So I think yields have to go up, which means prices have to go down for that to make sense. And so even if I could get something at like an 8% return, the cost of me borrowing money is like, would be probably like 5.5, 5.8%. And then like the spread between that is like, it's not enough after tax for it to really be worth it. So I'm just waiting. I think prices have to keep going down.
So are you set on doing it in Vegas, or are you still open to businesses in LA?
No, I'm out of LA. Do
you still have your duplex in LA?
I do. Yeah.
With your
I drove by
tenant?
it. Yeah.
It's nearby here, right?
Really close to here. Yeah, I drove by it coming here, and I was sending Macy pictures because the whole area is different. So it's like, it's in West Adams.
Okay.
And there's this.
Oh, that's really close to here.
Yeah, so when you go on Adams Boulevard, they put like the center median now in the middle of the street. They made it so nice. And as I was driving down Crenshaw, like all the buildings that I used to see there are now torn down, and they're building these huge, like 5-story brand new buildings. It's so nice.
Apparently Skims headquarters is coming into this neighborhood. Costco is actually coming into this neighborhood. So
are they at the Baldwin Plaza?
No, it's going to be where Obama Boulevard meets La Cienega.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Super close. So I was just saying it because this area is pretty much up and coming. Yeah,
I love it. If I were living here, I would consider.
Yeah.
I just hate so much about LA. You know,
that's because you moved out. I saw in what 2020, like 2020. Was it the pandemic and all that?
September of 2020, I closed on the house, which is like weird timing because in February of 2020, I closed on the house in West LA that I thought like, this is going to be like right before the pandemic. And then a few months later, it's like, well, now I want to move to Vegas. But I locked in such a low interest rate then. It was like 2.8%.
Wow.
And so like, I can't give that up. So that's there. And then we ended up moving. But, you know, it is what it is.
How many properties do you have now?
I think 6.
Oh, wow.
6 right
That's
now.
more than I thought. Yeah.
It used to be 8.
Did you sell it at a good time?
2 of them I sold. One was at a great time. I priced it on the high end of what I thought I could get.
Yeah.
And I got multiples over asking. That one was perfect. The second one I wanted to list at the same time, and we had an issue with that. And couldn't end up listing it until I think 6 or 7 months later.
Was it something you just had to fix inside the house, or why was there an issue?
Long story. Both a fix and another issue, unfortunately. So we had to wait and listed that 6 months later. We listed it on like really like realistically what we thought we could get. No offers in the first 2 weeks, dropped the price, got an offer slightly below ask. But I mean, it was a fair price, I thought, but not as high as I could have gotten 6 months prior. Just because interest rates were going up.
Yeah, I mean, I have a property no one's bit yet, but next time you're in town, if it hasn't sold you, I would absolutely love to show you.
Why do you think it's not sold? Because I did a reaction video to it. I haven't posted it yet.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Yeah, so I'll tell you what I thought, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I thought you spent too much money on it and made it way too nice for you, because I look at all the finishes in the house and I thought, like, no developer would do this. Like, if you were someone who did 50 homes, I'm looking in, I'm like, this is so nice. Like, the front door that you did, I'm like, that's such a nice feature if you were to live there. And the windows, I thought, like, those are so nice. But when you see developers building homes, they're all about, like, what's the best ROI? Like, every decision they make, there's like a door. Can I get a cheaper door that gets me a higher return, or can I spend a more expensive door that gets me lower, but it makes the house sell faster? Like, all, like, imagine doing that for every single item in the house, like even down to your toilet. Like, the toilet, they'll think, oh, I buy a $200 toilet and I'll sell it for $350. Or a $300 toilet, I sell it for $375. Well, it makes sense to go for the cheaper toilet. So they do that with everything. Your home, I thought, was too nice.
Well, okay, so there are actually comps in the neighborhood that are similar. A house in the neighborhood actually went for 1.8. It's just got an offer for 2.2. It's currently pending. But the issue that we ran into was the fact that when we were originally building the house, we were never planning on actually completely, what's it called? Just gutting everything. But unfortunately, the hoarder that lived there previously, he had rats, and the rats, their piss soaked into the wood. So we just had to gut everything. So to get our money back by rebuilding everything, we had to go with like the nicer finishes and appliances and a little bit nicer everything, so that we can potentially make more money on it in the back end.
Wow.
So we couldn't just go with basic cookie cutter, because at that point we were so deep in, there was no way to get our money back. But the market looked so good. Yeah. A year ago,
it's changed a lot.
It changed so much.
So right now, just to put it into perspective, I think its housing prices here need to drop by 35% for the monthly payments to be the same today as they were 2 years ago. It's wild. So that's why, like, a lot of the times, like, I think for my property, the value would have to drop by 50-something% for my monthly payment to be the exact same as I'm paying currently.
Yeah.
Just because I got such a low interest rate, like taking from 2.8 to 5.8%, like that's huge. So the payment would be substantially higher. So like for me, as long as you plan on keeping it, like it doesn't make sense. But that's really the big change. And you're in a price point where like a lot of people are working. It's probably a dual income household, and they're like really affected by that. And from what I've noticed, it seems like under like 2 range, people generally stretch up. So like you get the 1.5s that are like, I love this house enough to be able to like work harder, and I'll pay like 2, let's just say. But once you go above 2.5 to 3, then it's people, you know, going down. Like, you know, oh, I was going to buy this $3.5 million house, but I'll settle for 2.8. I'll get a good deal on it. So it's just like a different demographic.
Yeah, that price range that we're at for the house, which is at 1.8, is definitely difficult, I've realized. But funny enough, I did actually work with a developer, so he pretty much,
well, he's also the developer of this house, which is how you got connected with him.
Cool.
And
good job.
He does an incredible job.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up, because when I met him, he is very much so an artist, in the sense of he takes so much pride in the design of the houses. And I think Tiffany was maybe a little apprehensive about that part of it, but it's, again, what makes her love his work in general is all the detail, it's all the design, but obviously that comes at a cost.
Yeah, I love it. Literally. When I saw your house, to me, it's perfect.
Really?
Like,
when you walked in, or
both this place and the one that I saw online, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. Everything about it I thought was flawless. Even that little like cubby space that you had in like the wall, stuff
so
like that.
Cute.
I really, really, really like it. And this is my style too. Like when I walked in here, like this is what I would consider to be like a 10 out of 10. Like I'm not a fan of the Vegas architecture of like the modern. I prefer like a 1920s Spanish. I think there's something really cool about that.
That's very similar.
Plus,
to
since
really
you
like
hung around West Adams, that's where a lot of Spanish style homes are as well. So that makes a lot of sense. You love the
I
style.
love it. So
I just hate cookie cutter. I can't stand it. Yeah.
What's your break even on that? Can you say?
I'll tell you.
Or how about you could tell me and just like bleep it out of this?
It would be like 1. But the thing is, since I'm working with a developer, my stake in it doesn't change. So I'm actually making no matter what happens.
Really?
Yeah.
It's considered a construction loan?
So we actually went in on it together.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is actually, I texted you about it. I don't know if you remember a few years ago. It's okay. I asked you about like if this was a smart move or not.
What did I say?
I think you said you should go for it. I'm pretty sure.
I hope I did. Because now that's a smarter move.
Yeah.
Because at least you're not taking on 100% of the risk with this. So like that, in hindsight, you made the better decision between the two.
I think last year I probably would have made the short end of the stick. Now I'm like, wow, I'm like really happy that I made sure that I just got I got the same amount no matter what happened.
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like you have such a nice home, but you're up against rising interest rates and they continue to rise. So it's almost like, do you want to just cut the cord sooner than later?
Yeah.
Before interest rates rise again, I think it's like March 22nd, they're going up again, probably by another 0.25%. But every time they do that, what's going to happen, I think, is that they're going to, the sentiment right now is that inflation's not going away as fast as they expect. Basically, consumer prices went up in January, spending went up in January.
Eggs went up like 4-fold. Like,
yeah, well, the biggest cost, I believe, was, I think it was energy. I think energy prices really went up substantially.
Yeah, we got hit with those utility bills.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? So in Vegas, my monthly utility bill was about $200 and something a month for electricity.
For that massive house?
It was really cheap, right?
That's so cheap.
Yeah, but it's a brand new construction. Like everything is energy efficient. Nothing really changes. And I've noticed it going up from like $250, $350, $450.
Wow.
And I'm thinking like, okay, someone's running the AC. Like it's not, there's no AC or anything, but I'm like, someone's leaving something on. Like what would change? And I'm thinking maybe we're getting a little too complacent, like keeping the heater on or something like that. I'm like, nothing's changed. Just the cost has gone up. So right now the bill went from like $250 to almost $500 a month. It's like $480 a month. And nothing has changed. Like I'm like dialed in on this. I'm like, where is it coming from? Nothing. Just the cost went up.
They actually emailed.
They warned people that the prices were going to dramatically increase.
Yeah, I actually have purposely not looked at January's heating bill. I should probably look at it today, later.
Yeah, let's give it a look.
Yeah. Should I do it now? I'm kind of scared. Maybe I should.
Yeah, just give it a quick look. But anyway, the sentiment right now is that most likely the Fed is going to give guidance like, hey, it's not going away as fast as we expect. We might have to raise rates more than we expect. And like as soon as they issue that sort of guidance, the mortgage rates price in like immediately. Like, okay, they're going to be higher than expected. Bump it up a little bit. We'll see what actually ends up happening. But right now, the sentiment, well, I guess before all of this was that the Fed's going to pause after the next 1 or 2 rate hikes and then maybe like start reducing it at the end of the year. And I think everyone's just like got it wrong because inflation lasts way longer than expected. It's worse. And I think the same thing is probably going to happen with mortgage rates. It's going to be longer and probably a little bit worse.
But
yeah.
I mean, that's what they said about COVID. Remember, it was only 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Staying at home.
I remember that, the 2 weeks.
No, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
It was 2 years.
That's a time in all of our lives we'll never forget. That initial period of when everything shut down and it was so new and weird and uncomfortable.
And we were sanitizing all the grocery bags.
Oh, yeah.
Before
Tiffany and I took
home.
a trip to Colorado. What was it, like a year into the pandemic? And we wiped down like everything in the hotel room, and we're being so like ridiculous about it.
You didn't know. It was like
you didn't know that you didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think people knew what they knew now today, what was back then probably would have been a bit different, but like at the same time, you don't know. I mean, it could have gone either way.
Yeah. I mean, well, China now just reopened and all their cases went from 0 to like thousands.
Oh, yeah.
But they really prevented all of us from doing our jobs on the West Coast because everything was shut down forever in China. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's always nice to see you, and we'll definitely have to have you on again and see you. Or
just come to Vegas. Seriously.
We should,
it's such an easy trip.
I have a buddy who runs a bunch of the resorts and the marketing in
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we haven't gone a little bit, but usually we go out like once, twice a year. And yeah, we should definitely
do it.
Yeah.
Go in like spring, because right now it's really cold. Go in like April, May, June.
I love it over there. Once you get past all the casinos and stuff, because I always wondered, how do people actually live in Vegas? But it is a really great place to live. I didn't realize how beautiful it was as well.
I'll show you guys.
Yeah, we should
just make a trip.
It.
It's such an easy, and fly JSX. It's like it's going to be so easy.
Everyone's been talking about JSX.
Just try it. Just do that to Vegas, and they fly out all the time. I think there's like 5 flights a day.
Wow.
Nice. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Guys, if you guys haven't yet, go check out Graham Stephan. He has 4 incredible channels, or 3 now. 3 now. Yeah. I'll link them all down below, but Iced Coffee Hour is one of my favorites. So.
Thank you. That's what we're off to right now.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.